Part-time, hobby,
Um,
passion?
it started off just kind of as something to do because in my hometown they have this event like every 2 weeks during the summer called Water Fire. Basically, there's like a river that runs through town, and like they have these like fire baskets in the middle of the river, and like everybody comes down, and there's all kinds of fun down there. You can always make good money busking, but right around the time I was turning 21 or something like that, I ended up losing my job, couldn't find a new one, and I figured, and I was still had an apartment at the time that I was trying to pay for. I figured, well, I might as well go try to bust to make up a little bit of money while I can, while I'm still trying to find a job. And then I realized I can make better money busking than I can, working at McDonald's or some terrible place like that.
That's definitely true.
It was like, I remember when I first started busking, I was amazed. I was like, oh my God, I can make like $10 an hour.
Tens and tens of dollars.
Yeah, tens and tens of dollars for something I was going to do anyway. It's like, to hell with having a job. I'll just do this. So I ended up paying $350 a month rent for like 2 or 3 months just busking. And then I ended up meeting traveling kids and found out you could still ride trains. It's like, what? You can still go do that? I'm going to... Okay. And here I am.
How long did you ride trains?
I'm still riding them.
Riding?
I've been out here about 2 years now.
Yeah. Cool.
How long do you see yourself like traveling and busking?
Till when it stops being fun, I guess. Like, this is what I love to do. Or something I always wanted to do since I was a kid. So...
Well, what kind of music do you usually busk with?
Mainly like old timey music, like mainly like Appalachian, sort of like old timey music, like old Carter family songs or Frank Hutchison, like Woody Guthrie. But I play a bit of ragtime, and like I was really into jug bands. So like I used to do a lot of Memphis jug band, but I'm just kind of all over the place, I guess.
Yeah. Well,
Just whatever I feel like playing.
Yeah, well, whenever the mood suits you.
Pretty much.
Where do you find your inspiration?
Like
what keeps you going?
I just love doing what I do. Like, I love playing music. I love traveling, meeting new people, seeing new places. So I guess that's like the main thing that keeps me going. But also, like there's always that more like negative side of it too. It's like, damn it, like I'm so just frustrated or like depressed or whatever right now. So like that's also like a big like inspiration or like driving force for me too. It's just like, music has always been like some kind of like escape outlet or whatever, something to do.
Do you have a favorite city that you've been busking in?
I know everybody says New Orleans, but New Orleans is always a lot of fun. This is my first time in Asheville. I really like it here. As far as like my favorite places I've been, I really like Vermont and West Virginia. I think that's probably why I like Asheville so much too. Is like I just always like love the mountains and like this kind of terrain. But Vermont's really fun. I love it up there.
Well, you want to play us a tune or two?
Sure. Let me think of one.
We got a whole hour to kill here,
Let me think of one. I got Woody Guthrie song here, I guess.
Just rambling around. I work when I can get it when I'm going from town to town. The police make it hard wherever I may go, and I ain't got no home in this world anymore. brothers and sisters are stranded on this road. It's a hot and dusty road that a million feet to try. Rich man took my money and he run me from my door, and I ain't got no home in this world anymore. 'Cause I ain't got no home, I'm just rambling around. Work when I can get it, now I'm going from town to town. The police make it hard wherever I may go, and I ain't got no home in this world anymore. Was farming on the shares and a hose I was poor. All my crops I laid onto the bank of the store. Well, my wife took out and died upon the cabin floor, and I ain't got no home in this world anymore. So now I look around, it's mighty plain to see. This world is such a great and a funny place to be. Said a camel man is rich and a working man is poor, and I ain't got no home in this world anymore. Something like that.
Yeah, that song, man, that was one of the first Woody Guthrie songs I ever heard. And that's when I just fell in love with him because, like, growing up, I just never had a place to call home. I was always just bounced around for like years and years and years. And I heard that, I was like, oh, it was just so good to hear, you know?
Yeah. Or I really love that song. I really love his music in general, just because, like, I know it was, you know, he was a member of, like, Communist Party USA or all that. Like, he one of his most famous quotes, like, the best thing I ever did was join the Communist Party. Like, you know, I read about, you know, Jesus was talking about it in the Bible, but these people are actually doing it. And I just love all those old songs just because, you know, they're written during, like, the Union struggle and all that. And I just find them, like, even more relevant nowadays in a lot of ways.
That was pre-Stalin communism. Too.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
before America was like, you see?
Yeah, before House Un-American Activities Committee and all that.
Yeah.
Or there was a really great quote that he had with Pete Seeger about when he was going up in front of the HUAC commission or whatever. And he's like, you know, I can understand myself being on that, like being on that list or whatever, but like, why are they going to go after you, Pete? You never hurt anybody before in your life. If I wasn't on that list, I must have been doing something wrong. But I don't know. I love those old like Union songs or like old work songs or whatever, just because like, you know, it's talking about problems that were going on, you know, damn near 100 years ago, but just seem to be like more and more apparent nowadays.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. I hate to make things depressing. I'm usually a very optimistic person, but I really succeed on making the conversation dark at times. I suppose.
Yeah, I remember like Pete and Woody. They're like, oh, you're a communist. He's like, what? Like, I'm against race discrimination. The communists are against race discrimination. I'm pro-labor unions. You know, they're. You know,
right.
That's all it boiled down to at the time. You know.
Yeah, it's like I'm not a communist. I'm just a person.
And then this one guy talked to Woody. He's like, "Are you a communist?" He's like, "Well, I've been in the red all my life." Woody's humor.
Yep. So have you played in any bands while you've been busking, or do you normally bus solo?
I like to be in a band when I can be. Generally, like. I always find myself traveling with other musicians, so I tend to go through a lot of different bands. Like whenever I split up with different kids, that's like the end of that band until we all like find ourselves back together again. But I don't know. When I've been in a few bands like when I was not necessarily like traveling or just like in like one general area. I was in most recently. I was the last like air quotes that you can't really see that on the radio, but yeah, like the last like air quote real band that I was in was called the Smith Hillbillies. I was back in Providence, Rhode Island, and we were just named after the neighborhood that we were based out of, which was Smith Hill. So we were basically just like a bunch of punk kids that also played like old timey music and just started some band out of that. Or me and my friend John Smith. God rest his soul. He's not with us no more. But our like busking band, like it was just like me and him or like whoever we were busking with. We called ourselves Those Damn Kids. Or I was in another band called the Pabst Bluegrass Boys. That was my first. That was the first band I was in. That's how I got my introduction to folk music on a tenor banjo and guitar is what I started off with. I don't know. I just been in like a multitude of like traveling bands with dumb names. Like
yeah, I think today we were the Spoontang Clan.
Yeah.
My the last like ragtime sort of like gypsy jazz weird sort of whatever kind of band I was in. The full name of the band was Pterodactyl and the Killer Flying Crocodiles from Outer Space. The band and traveling. I don't know if I can say that on the air, but traveling show. Slash the word Gospel Revival, aka the Odd Jobs. If you want to be a dick about it, I don't know if I can say that either.
Beep.
Yeah,
That'd be a hell of a T-shirt, man.
It's 32. It was 32 words of awesome. Basically, I've just been finding myself starting bands as jokes. It's just like starts off as like an inside joke between me and my friends, and we'll find ourselves in a city where everybody but us takes us really seriously. Like when I was in Tucson, Arizona, we started a band just as a joke. And we ended up with like 100 Facebook, or like everybody kept asking us like, oh, what's your Facebook page? What's your Facebook? It's like, oh, well, I guess we have to make a Facebook page now. We got like 100 fans in like a week. One of our YouTube videos had like 300 views within a week, and we made it onto local access TV there with like no explanation. Like, you guys don't get it. Like we're just messing with all of you right now.
Just a bunch of dirty train kids.
We're just a bunch of dirty train kids, like with a dumb band. The name of our band was the Hard R and the $1.50 Chicken Nuggets. Because Burger King had a the $1.50 Chicken Nugget special going on at the time, and people would just tell people, oh, the dogs are the $1.50 Chicken Nuggets. And everybody there took us seriously except us. Like we were supposed to play a show one night, or we got offered a show as we were busking one night, and then it ended up raining like all night, like downpouring. And you know, it's Tucson, Arizona. Like I didn't know it rained in the desert. And it's like, go to the desert to stay dry, they said. Go to the desert to stay warm, they said. It gets cold out there, but
it does.
Yeah,
Especially
we just ended up spending the whole night at this 24-hour coffee shop, just like sitting around smoking cigarettes, drinking coffee, and playing dice. Like we were there till like 7 o'clock in the morning when the rain finally let up, and we were supposed to go play that show at 4 o'clock that day, and none of us had slept, so we ended up just sleeping through the show, and we couldn't find our banjo player either. Like she was off somewhere, and the kid kept hitting us up. He's like, oh, well, you guys can still come through. It doesn't matter if you're late. It's like, dude, we're missing a quarter of our band right now. We don't know where our banjo is. Our banjo player and our banjo are probably off sleeping in a bush somewhere.
Well, how long have you been playing banjo?
About 2 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what was your first instrument?
I started off on guitar, or I tried picking up the guitar when I was like 10 or 12 years old, something like that, and just like got frustrated with it and gave up. And somehow I found myself as a bass player in a punk band when I was like 17, 18. So like, I learned how to play bass, and that's right around the time I discovered like old time music or like folk music. So like I taught myself guitar off of that, or like I heard the Carter Family. It's like, whoa. sounds like there's 2 guitars on here right now, but like it's only one. Like I have to learn how to do that.
That's the same exact thing happened to me.
Yeah.
I just sit there forever trying to figure out how to do it, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Or that's I think that's part of the reason why I never learned how to play proper like claw hammer or whatever. Like people ask me, like, oh, what style do you? I tell them, and hammer claw. Like just because like I never that whole bum diddy like your hand doesn't want to move like that, and I'm so used to like picking the melody with my thumb as opposed to like on a single string with like your pointer finger.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I heard the Carter Family and like Woody Guthrie and Lead Belly, and I really loved those old Library of Congress recordings and the old field recordings that like Alan Lomax and those people were doing.
Yeah, Billy Scribbles and I go through a lot of those on Spoonful of Tunes. We talk about a lot of old-time
Nice.
music and stuff on Wednesday nights on the show.
Nice. Do you play stuff off of the Harry Smith Anthology or Anthology of American Folk
and out of the
Music?
Library of Congress and
Yeah.
old Lomax recordings, all sorts, anything we can find that
I love
has
all
to
that
do
stuff.
with a subject matter, pretty much.
Straight from the Spooniverse.
Yeah, and we also try to talk a lot about the way that music moves amongst travelers.
Yeah.
As far as the learning and, you know, oral tradition, how it is still alive amongst the traveling culture.
That's
And-
that's something that I really love about like traveling kids that, you know, just aren't like total like schwiltards or whatever. It's like like I really see it as like a lot of these
that is
kids
totally, that's your next band name.
the schwiltards.
Yeah. Them dirty schwiltards.
I'll keep that one in mind. But yeah, just that like all the like a lot of the good kids out here, like, you know, pretty much all the good kids out here, like they're keeping like the old ways alive, like, you know, playing these old songs that have been around for, you know, like the American folk songs have been around for like 100 years now, but like a lot of those songs are based off of old like English and Irish ballads that are like 400 years old or something like that.
Right.
What songs do you see? What songs, like old folk songs, do train kids seem to all know?
Pallet on the Floor, Railroad Bill, Hard Traveling, Take a Whiff on Me.
Yep.
What's another song that everybody plays?
And I also kind of noticed that songs in the traveling culture go through popularity spills. You know what I mean? Like there's that one summer where 5'2" was all the rage. Everybody.
Oh yeah, everybody was playing 5'2".
5'2", eyes blue.
Or like yeah, like a couple years ago, like everybody was playing St. James Infirmary, or I don't know. It's funny to see like these old songs like come in and out of fashion, like in the same way that they did like damn near 100 years ago.
Yeah, except amongst this small, large, but yet still in comparison
Relatively.
to the rest of the United States, small culture.
Percentage-wise.
Yeah. It's odd to me, too, sometimes, and I've said this before, about sitting with a whole bunch of kids who are 25 and younger, and not a single one of them knows a song that is recorded after 1940.
Right. Well, that I love that, too. Like, people ask me, is like, you know, like, what kind of music do you listen to? It's like, oh, well, I guess I still love, like, ska and punk rock, but, like, I really don't listen to anything past, like, 1940 or 1950. Like, pretty much, like, or people ask me, is like, what do you play? It's like, oh, you know, like, old-time music. And, like, I can't even remember, like, what some of the reactions I've gotten to that, though. But, like, I have to break it down to people's, like, the most modern music I play, for the most part, is, like, Hank Williams. Like,
It seems to be a thing, too. Like, I started off in punk rock and grunge. I started playing guitar like 93, and like got into punk rock, and I played drums, and I got into old time like music and folk, and it seems to be just a lot of punk kids and hardcore kids all gravitate towards the old folk music, and there's definitely a unifying aspect to the two genres. It's some kind of common thread because it speaks to so many people, you know?
Yeah, it's like
your background is
music
punk
for
and
the
you found
people,
it.
music for the people by the people.
Yeah.
Like,
because I mean, I guess punk music is modern folk music. It's just
I'm really glad to hear somebody else actually make that comparison. Like, you know, it's just modern electric folk music from the city.
a random nobody with a guitar could still make a song that catches on, but it's just how it's done these days. But I think it's the appeal. It's just the process is the same, you know.
Yeah, completely.
Or like when I was like first getting into folk music, like I was like obsessed with like murder ballads, like John Hardy, Stack of Lee, Tom Dooley. That I always found those really cool, or just like all these old like Drake songs too. And I would just listen, or when I was first getting into it, especially with those old like Library Congress field recordings, it's like, oh my god, like they're singing about all the same things that they're singing about in like all my favorite like punk bands, except like this stuff was recorded like 80 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
It's the same subject matter and the same people, more or less. Just
the same expression,
Yeah.
The hardships don't really change after time. Just the surroundings.
Yeah, the struggle never really goes away.
Right. It's still the same rich poor struggle. It's still the same farmers working their butts off for nothing. It's still
the man keeping you down.
Yeah, the same mountaintop renewal, mining issues. I mean,
being homeless.
The same but different.
Yeah.
And
the same tale, new generation.
Right, and that's what I like about folk music is that after all that time, I can still relate to it. And for some reason, in comparison to a lot of the stuff that's being played now, it seems simplified as far as, the message that's being put across, where a lot of modern music to me seems really, really complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I am an electric person, completely. I just always have been, and that's always been my personality.
Yeah.
Well, you have an electric personality.
I have been a professional personality for 5 or 6 years now, I think. You want to play us another tune?
Yeah, I got another song for you.
Do you have a favorite song to busk with, or like a song that you start with or end with? Or I know some folks have like, they have a routine. They always start with this song or that song, or they always end with this song or that song. Do you do the same?
Not quite. It's just like I probably know at least 100 songs. It's just like you get like caught in that rut of just playing the same like 15, 20 songs over and over again, just because that's like what you're comfortable doing.
Right.
And also like what we were talking about earlier about how like certain songs like seem to come like in and out of fashion, like within like the traveling community or like within like the like old timey busking community or whatever. Like I kind of go through the same thing. Like I don't know, but I can play you. This is usually the first song, or one of the first songs I start out with. It's one of the 3 different rags, ragtime progressions. It's just different keys, slightly different timing or something maybe, but like they're all pretty much the same. But yeah, I don't know who did this song originally, but I learned it from my friend Calvin Rising from Beaumont, Texas. She might be thin, but she's pretty good looking for the shape I'm in. I said, keep your fingers off it, don't try to touch it. Stumble on you, I say, oh, stumble on you.
in a highway to keep things off it. Don't try to touch it. Shuffle on you, I say, oh, shuffle on you. Keep things off it. Don't try to touch it. Shuffle on you. Say, keep things off it. Don't try to touch it. Shuffle on you. Said I'd do a nickel fall for a dime. Well, I would say more, but they ain't gonna mind. Well, I keep things off it. Don't try to touch it. Shuffle on you. I say, oh, shuffle on you. Keep things off it, don't try to touch it, shuffle on you. Said keep things off it, don't try to touch it, shuffle on you. Said I got a gal who's long and tall, she sleeps in the kitchen with beats and hard. Did I want to keep things off it, don't try to touch it, shuffle on you. I say oh, shuffle on you. Keep things off it, don't try to touch it, shuffle on you. Keep things off it, don't try to touch it, shuffle on you. Then I got a letter from the girl in the room, said she's gonna bring home that good stuff soon. Well, keep things off it, don't try to touch it, shuffle on you. I say, oh, shuffle on you.
That was great.
Thank you.
What was the name of that song?
Keep your fingers off it, I think. Or don't try to touch it. Like I said, I learned that from my friend Calvin. But like I said, like all them ragtime songs, they're all the same. Like that's the same thing as Hot Tamales by Robert Johnson, except that one's in G. Hot Tamales is same progression, just a different key.
Yeah. Yeah, I played all them songs in New Orleans, floating around band to band, and
That's kind of how you do it in NOLA.
yeah, a lot of those old ragtime songs are really, really fun, but you know, and a lot of them, they have a lot of really good breaks, which makes it really fun because you do a bunch of really silly stuff in the breaks.
Yeah, it's great, especially if you have like a kid with a washboard, like a couple people with a kazoo or something too. Like people love that.
Yeah.
Like that's why I always love jug bands so much too. Is like it's like poor man's jazz. Or like it's just like fun music.
Yes, definitely. Poor man's jazz. That's a really good way of putting that, actually.
Well, it's like they had the washboard instead of the drum kit. They had the harmonica instead of a saxophone. They had a kazoo and like stovepipe. Just like a piece of like metal tube that they would put over the kazoo and then like use that instead of a trumpet or like tuba or whatever, or trombone, I suppose.
Yep.
Poverty, where poverty meets ingenuity. It's
Yeah.
always a beautiful.
Right.
Something beautiful always comes out of that,
Yes. And another thing is that it kind of goes to show you cannot house creativity. It will always find a way to leak out.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter if there is money involved or not. It's going to find its way.
Creativity loves a good challenge.
So just
Yeah.
give in and let it happen. That's the spoon lady.
It's
advice.
always gonna happen. People are always gonna need some kind of outlet, or people are always gonna have like some kind of creativity, or like create something new, or like take the old and make something new out of it.
How long are you going to be in town? You're leaving tomorrow?
The only reason I've actually been in town this long is another busker. You might know him. I don't know. He added me on Facebook. His name is Rippin' Rob on there.
Yeah,
another
Rob,
kid named,
if you're listening, we love you.
Yeah, what's up, dude? I'll see you at that show tomorrow. But yeah, the only reason I'm even in town right now is I met him the other day, and he told me about this big, like, it's like a 2-part show that's going on. It's going on at some warehouse. It's like, what was the name of that warehouse? I don't remember, but it starts at like 2:00 or something tomorrow and goes to like 7:30 at the warehouse, and they're like closing it down and moving to another place just so I guess so like cops don't show up or whatever. But then the second show is gonna be at Das Poop House, and damn it, who's trying to call me right now? Don't you know I'm being famous right now?
Look, what's so important? You gotta interrupt.
Famous happy.
Hello? Hey, what's up? Can I call you back later? I'm on the radio right now.
Yeah, your phone call's on the radio.
Your dog's what? Oh, no, that's not good. Yeah, I'll call you back soon. I love you too. Bye.
Dog issues?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, that's sad. Yeah, and her dog's missing. And she's not even a traveling kid either. She has a house and everything, but she has a beautiful little like Catahoula puppy. If anybody sees a like black and gray what looks like a Catahoula puppy, but it's like 7 months old, it's mixed with something. But everybody sees a small Catahoula.
Yeah, you get a hold of us at abbyspoonlady@gmail.com, and I will get the message across where it needs to be.
Was that the dog I saw when I was jamming with you today?
No, that was my friend Aiden's dog Zooey. He's like some kind of like pit mix or something like that. He's an old man. He's like 12 years old. I love that dog.
He's a cool dog.
He is a cool dog. He's got like the big old pig ears and everything.
He's like howling to the music.
Yeah.
People love that. Man.
So I got to ask this question because it's kind of a hot topic in Asheville right now as far as the traveling kids are concerned. What would you say to somebody like who doesn't understand the traveling culture? Why do you all have dogs?
I don't have a dog. I have a dog riding a skateboard tattooed on my arm, but
you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, why do we all have dogs? Cuz why do you not have a dog, dude? They're awesome. Like they're your like
they love you no matter what.
Yeah, they love you no matter what. Like they say that dogs are man's best friend. Like that's a thing. Like people evolved from Neanderthals parallel to dogs evolving from wolves. Like that's the thing. Like people and dogs have been around forever. Like it's never gonna go away. Like we evolved together. Like the only reason that dogs exist is because the wolves would follow around the Neanderthal camps just for like all the scraps and all that. And of course, like they found puppies and like that's how dogs were domesticated. Blah blah blah. But why do we all have dogs? Because they're awesome. That like they'll never leave you, or they might run away, but like they're adorable. Girls love them, and also like from just like a way more practical standpoint, like when you're sleeping outside or if you're sleeping in a sketchy area, like that dog's gonna have your back. Like
he's gonna wake you up and let you do something.
Yeah, if somebody tries to walk up on you while you're sleeping, the dog's gonna growl and like let you know. It's like, hey, somebody's coming. Like.
Yeah, it's part of that safety in numbers. I try to explain to folks that a lot of travelers like to be in groups more for safety. It's safety in numbers. You know your folks, and
that, and most of us just love dogs. Like,
yeah.
And like, I what really drives me crazy is when people try to come up to you and say, it's like, oh, your dog deserves better. Your dog is so sad right now, blah, blah, blah. It's like, are you kidding me, dude? Like, I'm carrying like 30 pounds of dog food with me right now. My dog never gets tied up, or he gets tied up if I go in a store, but my dog never gets put in a crate or anything like that. It's like, it's like, do you know what dogs want to do? Pretty much the same thing that bums want to do. Walk around all day, smell stuff, eat food, see new places. Like, dog stuff is pretty much the same thing as bum stuff. Like, there's a reason why whenever you meet a traveling kid with a dog, that dog's tail is always wagging. Like traveling dogs are so much happier than like housey dogs, if you ask me, or like.
That's true. I used to be a dog walker, and like some dogs, man, when you have to like show up and walk them, and you go to leave, they're like, "Oh, you're leaving me," and they get so sad. They're like, "I'm sorry, dude. I'll see you tomorrow," But there's like those hours per day where it's just by itself, and it doesn't want to be by itself, but it has to,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're a responsible adult. But like the dogs just want to follow you everywhere you go. That's just what they want to do.
Yeah, dogs are pack animals. They just want to hang out with their people. Like,
what do you want to do, dog? I want to do whatever you're doing right now.
Yeah, let's go walk around. Yeah. Let's go pee on stuff. Let's go smell things, and let's try to get some free food.
That's right.
So, what would you be doing if you weren't busking? If you weren't busking and traveling, and you were trying to settle down somewhere, what would you do?
General labor. I went to a vocational high school I went to a vocational charter high school. So half the money for that school was put up by the local laborers union. And that was actually my plan when I was growing up. Like the whole time through I was in high school, I was like, sweet, like I'm set for life. Like, they're going to train me and then I'll get like good job. And, like, I'll get a pension, all this, like, the American dream. And then I got kicked out of the program 2 weeks before my OSHA certification because of my eyesight.
Oh, man.
So I was like, well, where do I go from here? So I ended up working at a bakery I worked there from the time I was, like, 17 to the time I was 16 or 17 to the time I was 20. But basically, if I ever get off the road... Like, that's what everybody says. I know I'm going to get off the road eventually. But basically, I'm really into, like, micro farming and just, like, self-sustainability. My dream is basically just, like, go get a few acres of land somewhere that I like, maybe up in Vermont, maybe, in this area of the country, whatever. And... basically just like buy a trailer or like build a shack or whatever and just like live off the land, like grow my own food, use like solar panels and all that for electricity and just
chill.
Yeah, pretty much just be able to exist. Like that's one thing that I've always wondered about too is like why that seems to be like everybody that I meet on the road's retirement plan. Like, or something along those lines.
Get a van and let your dog have puppies?
No, not a van, but...
Isn't that the joke?
Yeah. But yeah, or that's something that I've always wondered about is like, how is it that like every single kid that's on the road is like trying to go back to the old ways? Like maybe that has something to do with like, it's just, how people lived back then and like...
I think for me it kind of feels like seeing the world from the ground, like literally sitting on your backpack, sitting on the sidewalk from the ground up, makes you look at things completely different, and it makes you want to pull back to something a little bit more simple.
Yeah, to something that was more simple or more true.
Right, because when you're sitting on the ground, it feels like everything around you is so false.
Yeah.
And I don't know how else to say that, you know what I mean? But it's definitely more in your face than were you driving around in a car and going to your 9 to 5. You know what I mean? You see the lies and the issues and the pain that are on the ground. A little bit more realistically.
You see everything that's going on in the world like from the most like first-hand perspective or whatever, right. Or like you see all like the real problem just because like you're forced to like deal with it. But also like you see beautiful things. Like you realize that like I don't know. I have a lot more faith in humanity now. Like now, since I've been on the road, since before I did, just because like you realize like there's still good people out there. Like there's still people that like get it.
Oh yeah.
Like for all the like terrible like just people out there that are just stuck in their own world or just like have just been completely brainwashed. Like there's still good people out there, and when you find those good people, they're great. Like they get it.
Why don't we play another song?
All right.
Running out of time here.
Any kind of requests? I know a lot of songs.
I don't know. What you got? What
Give me a topic or something, maybe.
A topic? You got some animal songs? I like animals. I like food songs too. I like animal songs, I like food songs, and I like silly songs.
Any like what songs?
Silly songs.
Silly songs?
Silly songs are great.
Silly songs are...
The only thing with like nonsense verses?
Oh man, I really wish I knew The Old Lady and the Devil.
that's a really great one.
Yeah. That's one of those great just like rambling songs. The song's kind of about food and kind of about animals, and it's kind of silly at the same time. This song that I play when like there's little kids with their families stop in front of me.
Look for the bare necessities, simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities, all Mother Nature's recipes. Simple bare necessities of life. Wherever I wander, wherever I roam, I couldn't be fonder of my big home. The bees are buzzing in the trees, making some honey just for me. Take a glance at the rocks, the plants, and the fancy ants, and do a little dance, and maybe even try a few. The bare necessities of life come to you. Look for the bare necessities, and simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities, of Mother Nature's recipes. Simple bare necessities of life. Look for the bare necessities, and simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities, of Mother Nature's recipes. Say the simple bare necessities of life.
Disney song. I really been meaning to learn Hakuna Matata recently because one of my friends that I've met in this town, he has an Hakuna Matata hat. And I've had that stuck in my head since I met him. We attempted to busk with it earlier, but we had like 6 or 8 kids, and like the banjo was the only instrument that we had, so just screaming or not really screaming, but just like kind of shrieking and just like whatever songs that we all knew. It was great. We're all just singing like whatever song, like Cold Water by Tom Waits or like the Midnight Special or something like that. And it's got like a 6-part harmony on it, so it just sounds like some crazy old like Baptist congregation or something like that. People really liked it. It was fun.
So, what would you say the challenges are when you're busking? Like what are the things that get in your way, or
motorcycles, police sirens, buses, people just being rude, home bums, people that basically what really seems to be the biggest challenge is people that like try to walk up. Like I love it when people talk to me when I'm busking, but like, dude, you have to like, it's like, dude, understand, like, I'll talk to you for like 2 or 3 minutes, but let me get back to work. Like when somebody will come up and just like try to talk to you for like an hour, or just like if like another group of kids just rolls up and just says, oh yeah, let's just post up here, and so for all of a sudden it's gone from like 1, 2, or 3 people to like 6 or 8 people.
Right, and you're just wanting to sit there and do your thing.
Yeah,
and
like
make some money.
Yeah, like if a bunch of kids roll up and like, you know, they're trying to help busk, like if they're gonna sing along or like at least clap their hands or like do something, like I'm all for that. It's just like when people roll up and just like are trying to hang out right next to you as you're trying to work, and they're just sitting there getting schwilly, yelling at each other. It's like, dude, you understand? Like, you're blowing up my spot right now. Like, it doesn't help. Or another thing that really drives me crazy, people with amplifiers and microphones.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you're playing on the street right now.
Yeah.
You're really going to come out here with an electric guitar? Like, or you're really going to come out here with a microphone? And, like, that just, like... Or people seem... maybe it seems to make money just because it's like, oh, he's a professional. He's got a whole setup and everything. He's like, no, dude, you're not a professional. You may be really good at music, but you're definitely not a professional busker. You need to learn how to project your voice and, like, it goes back to, like, the old, like the old times or whatever, like old folk music. There was no microphones back then.
Right.
Like, the only way that people could, like, play square dances and stuff like that, or like be able to do performances is, yeah, when you're first starting, you have to ruin your voice. You have to busk all day, every day, and just completely lose your voice just from like screaming all the time. That's how you learn to sing and like not ruin your voice.
Right.
Yeah, now buskers are like, hold on, I need my compression rack. You know, it's like, oh,
it's like, dude, you're cheating.
Yeah.
Well, you're cheating.
What's your thought on folks who are using like loop pedals and all that stuff on the street? Like,
okay, like people that use. Here's my thing: if you're playing like folk music or like music that is traditionally played on acoustic instruments, get the hell out of here with your amplifier and your microphone. Like, what are you doing, dude? However, to go back to talking about Tucson, Arizona, which is a really cool city. I really suggest you go check it out if you ever have the chance. But there was this one dude there, and I can't remember what his name was, but he was awesome. He was like a one-man like funk band. Like, he had a loop pedal and like a microphone and an amplifier and all that. But like, he wasn't playing what's supposed to be acoustic music. He's just playing like funk music, and it was really cool. He had like a drum beat going on behind it and like a bass track or whatever. And like, one of his songs that is always been stuck in my head, it's like, she was the world's worst girlfriend, bum bum bum, but the sex was great, bum bum bum. Well, she punched my mom and she stole my car. Well, she kicked my dog and blah blah blah. Like, I don't know. I found him really entertaining. He kind of reminded me of the Dead Milkmen. It was like, I don't think he was like trying to be serious whatsoever. He was just playing funk music and just playing like ridiculous songs. I was like, damn right, dude. Like, you're the first like person with an electric guitar I've seen on the street that I actually enjoyed listening to. But like, you know, that's his hustle or whatever. But seriously, like, you gonna come out here and play blues with an amplifier? Dude, get yourself a resonator guitars and just play something acoustically.
Keep it organic.
Yeah, right? Like, keep it pure. Like busking stems from like a certain art form that people are kind of losing touch with, you know? Like the organic art form, I feel.
Yeah, I have to... I'm going to say this. I have a very different stance than a lot of folks in the Asheville Buskers Collective, of which I am a member of, as far as busking concerns. I am a meat and potatoes busker. I do not believe in amplifiers on the street.
It's not fair.
Well, it's stomping out a lot of the acoustic music, you know.
And like,
it gets out of hand.
And electricity is really just kind of a prop too.
Well, the other day there was somebody playing a finger drum, like a thumping on one skin on a finger drum with one finger and amplifying it extremely loud.
Oh, damn.
I never heard of a finger drum.
I don't even know if that's what it's called, but
like a djembe, like
yeah, tiny little drum, and they're just thumping that one little drum, and it's amplified.
That is obnoxious.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
and massively loud, and you know, and that's an example, I guess, as to big no's. As far as all that's concerned. No, we've got 10 minutes left. Do you want to play another song before we got to sign off for the evening?
Sure, I got a couple more songs. This is It's a song that I believe was originally done by J.P. Nestor and recorded during the Bristol sessions in Bristol, Tennessee in 1927. Is what they called like the birth of country music or whatever. That's where like Jimmy Rogers and the Carter family were discovered.
Train on the island, since the head is where go tell my true love where I can roll the wheel. I can't hold the wheel, Lord. I can't roll the wheel. I can't hold the wheel, Lord. I can't hold the wheel. Lord, hear them blow, Lord. Lord, hear them blow. Lord, hear them blow, Lord. Lord, hear them blow. Train on the island, since the head is low. Don't tell my true love I'm sick and I can't go. I'm sick and I can't go, Lord. I'm sick and I can't go. I'm sick and I can't go, Lord. I'm sick and I can't go. Train on the island, since the head is where go tell my true love. Oh, happy I do feel, happy I do feel, Lord. Happy I do feel, happy I do feel, Lord. Happy I do feel. Train on the island, head to west. Gonna see my true love, Lord. One I love the best, one I love the best, Lord. One I love the best, one I love the best, Lord. Now one I love the best. Train on the island, since the head is where go tell my true love. Oh, I can't roll the wheel. I can't hold the wheel, Lord. I can't hold the wheel. I can't roll the wheel, Lord. I can't roll the wheel. Lord, hear them blow, Lord. Lord, hear them blow. Lord, hear them blow, Lord. Lord, hear them blow.
What was the name of that one?
Train on the Island.
That was a good song.
I have
I love that
several
song.
copies of that I am more than happy to share with you.
Of the same song?
Yeah, Train on the Island. I got a bunch of copies.
Nice. I don't think I've ever heard any other version of it than the original.
Oh, I have a bunch.
By like other kids?
Old recordings.
Nice.
That's an
I
old,
totally
that's
wanna
an
check
old
that out.
song. That's pre-Civil War. That song.
Is it really?
Oh yeah.
I got
Because before the freight train, they had like lyrics about boats and levees and whatnot else stuck
Nice.
into it.
I have another really old song for you. This is this song's probably about 400 years old.
Oh, I don't know if we got time. We got 3 minutes.
All right, let me think of a quick one. Ugh.
Well, okay. Well, let me say this real quick. Folks who are listening to Busker Broadcast, you can get a hold of us on the internet. We have a Facebook page. You can also find us here downtown. You can For the most part, we're bringing in buskers, folks. If you find a busker that you would like to hear, please send them our way. I am the Spoon Lady, and Billy Scribbles is here. He is my trusty helper, and he is ever so helpful. I don't know. You think maybe you might want to record some? We can go in the pre-record room, and we can post them on the...
Yeah, I can record some more stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
I have a lot of songs.
Whatever you want to do, we can do.
I really got nothing going on. Like, if I leave here, I'm probably gonna go wander around and try to find a sleep spot or run in front of one of my friends. But well, yeah. I really got nothing going on. I got my second wind going.
How about we record 2 or 3 that we could post up with this archive? We got
Sweet.
about 1 minute left here, so I guess. If y'all have any goodbyes or shout-outs, I would do it now.
Chad, Jeffrey, Skylar, Aiden, and Jana. Hey, what's up? I'm on the radio.
All right. Okay, folks. We're signing off. And be looking for this, and we're going to post some extra tracks. This is WPVM. You're listening to WPVM LP 103.7 FM in Asheville. You can listen to us online at WPVMFM.org. Thank you. We're signing off. And look for us on Monday at 4 for Busker Broadcast.
And good night.
Good night.